Alright, so hey guys, welcome back to Techno Hack. This is Parikshit here, back again with another video, and in the web application vulnerability series, this is also going to be another video where in this video now we are going to learn about the RFI vulnerability. So RFI is nothing but the remote file inclusion. So in the previous videos we have seen like what is LFI, and we have seen like what is CORS and all other vulnerabilities, right? So RFI is also just like a small vulnerability under the web application vulnerability series. This is just similar with the LFI, but just what happened in LFI is like the file is taken from the local web server itself on the website. But in here the RFI nothing but remote file inclusion is nothing but the file is included from the remote server into the website. So the file from remote server will be included into your website, and that is nothing but your remote file inclusion. So this is a vulnerability, and how we can exploit it, this is what exactly we are going to see in this series. So before we move further for the exploitation part, let's understand what is exactly RFI and what happened, and how it works exactly. So remote file inclusion means a file is included from a remote server into your web server. You might have seen sometime like what we have seen in the previous video, and how I shown you guys like the contact.php or other kind of files that was included into your web server or website, right? So when it is included, how you were able to change the path to some sensitive file, and you could able to access those sensitive file as well, right? In the previous video we have seen it was a contact.php, but the same way what we have to do is like we have to include the file from some other website, or let's say what can happen here is like if a website or web server is including a file from your different website or web server, what an attacker can do is like he can change the file, or he can change the site to any attacker site, and he can access the other file from his own server. Even he can access the payloads or other virus kind of file, and he can display or download it into your victim's website, right? So this, even any attacker can download the virus from your attacker site, and he can execute it into the victim's site, right? So this is how dangerous it is. After executing the particular file, it can get you the complete control over the system of a victim machine, right? So this is how the RFI is dangerous, and it can give a huge impact on your system, right, or on your site. So let's go ahead and I will show you how you will exploit it. All right. Alright, now let's understand how to exploit the RFI. So already I have the DVWS setup over here, as we already seen in the previous video with the local file inclusion vulnerability. So in the same way, now we are just going to look for the RFI vulnerability. Alright, so RFI is nothing but we will try to see whether we are able to access any another website or any file from any another third-party website from this particular vulnerable site. All right, so I will just keep the particular target or the security level to low, and I will submit it. And let's move to the file inclusion now, and inside this particularly here you just need to click on any of the file, and here the page is equal to. So this is the exactly the injection point which I told you guys in the previous video as well. So this is exactly where you tried to access the other file from the local server, which is nothing but your local file inclusion vulnerability, right? So the same way like what we did in previous video is like dot slash, all right, dot slash and dot slash, and then we tried to access this particular file. So we got the content like that, right? So this is nothing but your LFI. And now here in RFI, what we will be doing is we will try to access the file from the other website or another remote site. This is nothing but your remote file inclusion. So let's try now. Let's just try to access any other site first of all. So the page is equal to, and I will just try to access like let's see, http:// and I will try to update here like let's say www.google.com, and let's see if that works. So you can see I am able to access the Google website from this particular target site, right, victim site. And you can see this is exactly my victim's website, and I am still able to access the content or the file or the website like a google.com. Or let's say, let me update my own website over here, and let's see if I'm able to access this particular site. So technowebhack.com, and let's see if we are able to access. Yes, looks like this is going to this particular remote site. You can see my own site over here, right? So you can see our own website like a technowebhack.com, and when you scroll down to this particular site, you can see the victim site is over here. So we are now still able to access any site just like that, right? So let's see what if like you attacker is trying to access any file, or let's say, suppose this is attacker's site, this is my site, and assuming I am attacker, I want to access a particular site from my my own website. Or let's say like, suppose I can execute any shell over here, or I can execute any payload over here which will be executed at the victim site. So many things that an attacker can think of and he can do over here. So let's see, I want to access any file from my own web server. So I have a test.txt which I uploaded into my web server, and I will just try to access like a test.txt, and let's see. So you can see this is the test content, and this is exactly, we are still able to access any file from my own web server, and we already have the victim website over here. So this is nothing but your RF5 vulnerability, guys. Here you are able to access any file from the remote server, and this is nothing but your vulnerability. This is dangerous because this is, now we are just executing a text file over here, but what if attacker is trying to execute any suspicious file from his own web server, just like how I did right now, right? So this is how dangerous it is. And now let's see, because this is with your DBWS security with low. Now let me increase the security level to medium, and let's see if there are any prevention or preventive measures in place. So let's go back to file inclusion. Let's click on any of the file over here, and now I will try to access, like, let's say http:// and google.com. And now you can see it is not giving me this particular option, and even when I try to update it to the https:// I'm still getting it like this way. So let's see what is the security that is placed into this particular page right now. So I will click on the view source. Let's see what is the source, and we already have another tab open here. So this source is here, you can see. So what happened is, like, now here there is an input validation that is in place, and this is exactly the input validation here, like http:// and https:// So if anything that is starting with the http:// or https:// it will not take that as an input, and it will validate it, and so it will block that particular thing. So the thing should not start with // or it should not even start with http://. So this is now blocked. So what is allowed here? So you can see that the file is still allowed. All right. So you can see that file, if it is starting with the file protocol, you are still able to access it. So it should start with file, but it should not contain like http://. So let's just try it right like this way. So let's see if we are able to do it with the file, and let me just try to update it over here. So this is now page is equal to file:/http, or no, we don't need to give that, file:/google.com. And let's see if that works. No, not file:/, but file:/. What if we give it like this way, and let's say enter? No, right? So we are not getting this particular result with the file protocol as well, because guys, the file protocol will only work for the file if you want to access from anywhere. or maybe it will work only for the local files from the same web server. So now we are trying to access as like the remote file. So here you need to do is like you don't need to give the file protocol over here, because let's do one thing like page is equal to, as we can see that clearly over here that the HTTP and HTTPS is particularly blocked, but we can see that this is completely in the lowercase. Now what if I am trying to access this google.com or any other third-party site with the uppercase HTTP or HTTPS? Let's try that, because that is not updated into your input validation, right? So let's try like HTTP in uppercase, and I'm trying to access google.com, and we can see it is now working. And even when I try to update it to HTTPS and HTTPS:/ enter, we can see it is still working. And the same way if I try to access my own website over here, so let's say technowebhack.com, and I will update the file as well, which is a test.txt. It should display over here, and you can see the content, like this is test content, is displayed. So we are able to access my own website and any file from my website as well, right? So you can access any other site as well over here, any third-party site. So in this case, attacker can place his own website, own web server over here, and he can try to execute anything over here. So this can possible, and this is really dangerous, guys, right? So let's see what else you can do. So let me try to increase the security level, and let's see if there is any possibility to exploit this at the high severity or high security level. So let's first understand it, and what is the particular page source is saying. Let's see that. So I need to check that out over here, and you can see this is particularly for the high one. Okay, so you can see what will happen in the high security level. So here the file should match with this proper particular whatever it is updated over here, and also it is clearly saying that the file is not equal to include.php. So if the file is not equal to include.php, or if the file is not starting like beginning with the file and then there is any number or anything after this particular thing, then the validation is there. So if anything else we are placing it, then the validation will work and it will block the rest of the things, right? So this is particularly for file we can see here, but we don't see anything for the remote file inclusion. So I don't think the remote file inclusion is gonna work here, and so that's okay. We still understood how the RFI works, how we are able to access any other third-party website on this particular victim page, or any file from a remote server or website into this particular victim sites, right? So this is exactly how dangerous it is, guys. So I hope you understood the concept of the RFI. Alright guys, so I hope you understood what is exactly the RFI, how exactly it works, how you find it, and how you exploit it. Right now you definitely got the idea how dangerous it is, because we were able to execute, or we were able to access another file from attacker machine, and we were able to see the content on our victim's machine here itself, right, on the victim's site. And even instead of accessing any other site or other file from the attacker website, we can actually access any sensitive file, or maybe we can actually execute any virus kind of file into the website of your victim. Alright, so this is how dangerous it is, and that's the reason it is again necessary to prevent from this kind of vulnerability. So this is what again we will see and cover this part into the next video. Alright, so stay tuned for the next video for the prevention of the RFI vulnerability. This is what exactly we will see in the next video. So if you're new to this video and this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you will not miss the next videos that I'm going to upload. So look at this report, guys. This is from the YouTube, and it is showing me that the 90% of users who is watching my videos regularly, they have not subscribed yet. So if you're one of them, that's not cool, guys. If you want to support me and if you want to appreciate my hard work, please make sure you hit that subscribe button first, so I would be able to get this kind of tech videos for you on regular basis. Alright, so this is it. I hope you like this video, and if you like, please make sure to hit the like button as well. So I will meet you in the next video for the prevention of this RFI vulnerability. Till then, thanks for watching. Have a great day and bye bye.